The Engaged Learning Series, ELS, is a university-wide series of events and programs designed to engage students, faculty, staff, and community in discussion, debate, dialogue, learning, and action around an issue of public concern. For the 21-22 academic year, we focused on the theme of ReConnect to consider what occurs after an initial connection has been made, or how one connection circles back to reconnect and change or alter the initial connection. ELS encouraged faculty, staff, students, and the community to embed the theme in ways that embrace, push back, challenge, or experiment with what reconnect means to them through their perspectives and experiences throughout the year. The following is a reflection of what some faculty at Weber State University chose to do with the theme.
This year, 22-23, no, we're not even that year. Sorry, let me start over.
My name is Cathy Harmston, and I am an assistant professor in the Annie Taylor D School of Nursing. And I worked closely with Heather Clark, and she is also works in the School of Nursing.
I teach in geography, environment, and sustainability. And I teach a world environmental issues class, although we look at issues that go from local to global. And it's also a community engaged learning course, as well as a sustainability course. So there's all kinds of things going on.
We felt like we could make a difference with the ReConnect theme by reaching out to students, especially given the challenging times that we've had with the pandemic. So we just felt like the ReConnect theme was a great way for us to get engaged on campus, even beyond just the School of Nurse. So we decided on our own to take a wagon, and we had the Engaged Learning Series had worked with us to get some fun little giveaways that we could take around and kind of engage students and have giveaways. So we got the wagon and we loaded it with all of our giveaways. We had little stress balls because our theme was to make yourself a priority. And it was a good chance for us to reconnect with students because we haven't been as face-to-face on campus for a while, so it was really good to get out on campus and meet students. And it was just, I felt like a great way to connect or reconnect.
It was really wonderful to have a theme to roll with, and thank you to the Engaged Learning Series. The theme of ReConnect really supported the dance program's mission and vision this year. And the first one was, how are we going to move forward with Orchesis Dance Theater and Moving Company, which does a lot of community engagement in terms of our students connecting with community, and how does community help to inspire our actions within the dance program. And so the first thought I had was to reach out to our alum, Hannah Halbert and Amelia Martinez, are fabulous examples of this because they started Ogden Movement Collective, which includes a number of alum from the dance program. And then it was reaching out to Jonathan Guerra. I thought it'd be wonderful to bring in not only his voice as an alum, but his voice as an individual of a marginalized community. And then why not reach out even more and reach out to Natasha Washington, a nationally recognized choreographer who is the director at West High School, and then Zim Zim. Both are individuals of color and both have really interesting narratives and stories to not only share, but to provide insight for the students to engage in and do their own research. The other one was reconnecting with the Northern Utah High School dance programs. We brought NUD, the acronym, back to our campus where it's been performed before, and that included 8 high schools, I believe it was 110 students, 8 educators, and then we performed for 600 elementary school students and 1,000 family members in the evening. So it was a day and evening of dance. Thank goodness the support of ELS providing not only support monetarily, but also in terms of marketing and outreach, but then bringing in these lovely tools so that students had a really great time taking photos and really sharing stories. And we held one of our largest auditions for tuition waivers. So really the opportunity to engage has now inspired NUD to reach back out again, and I have a meeting with them to set up our next one for next year.
So I knew I wanted students to do a service work. And I thought, partly with pandemic, let's find something we can do outside. And having had experiences going down the Ogden River on a tube, I think, with my kids and seeing all the trash that was along the corridor, I thought, well, gosh, we should do something about that. So I thought, well, let's focus around waste, and we'll look at waste of various ways, both literal litter and things, but also potentially energy, food waste, because there are other opportunities on campus and things we do. So I knew I wanted to do that, and then with the ReConnect theme for engaged learning, I thought, well, we're all really connected to this river because we're all part of the watershed. So let's reconnect people because they probably don't think about it. Was able to connect up with students in CSEL, and they helped coordinate, which was amazing. So they helped sort of do some of the lifting and then got more people involved, but it was also with our class to do a river cleanup. And we did that last semester, and I ended up teaching the class again this spring, and so we're doing it again this Saturday, soon. Okay, so in terms of impact, one thing I should say, in addition to the service work, part of the reconnecting, and this kind of evolved, I guess, as a project within the class, I thought, well, we talk about water pollution issues, we talk about all these other things, let's actually focus on the river, not just doing the service work, but actually learn something about it. Them kind of diving in and researching on issues of water quality, use of the river, development, social justice a bit. Homelessness came up because you encounter encampments along the river. So there was this whole really neat array of interdisciplinary things that actually came out in their presentations. In their reflections, which they did on this project, really enjoyed learning about it. Some of them had never been down to the Ogden River, right, which is just, not very far away. And for others, they were very familiar at it, but looked at it in a different way. And so I think there was definitely a sense of both accomplishment with the service part, but I think they gained a little bit more of an appreciation for this place where we are. So that was I thought, a nice piece of that.
I think the biggest impact that it had for students just was that there was some connection with someone else on campus. In the library, a lot of the students were sitting alone studying. Even in the Shepherd Union building, there were a lot of students sitting alone with their headphones on studying. And I think it was just nice to have a connection, and that we would talk to them, that they could select a gift, that we could share with them some ideas for stress reduction. It's been a stressful time. And I think it was just nice for them to have someone maybe reach out to them and even just smile and say hi to them while they were on campus.
The outcome of this experience, not only NUD and Moving Company working with these artists, I think first off, it's being able to share the logo and the email signature. So when I'm sharing information about what our experiences are, the upcoming experiences, already faculty and students on campus are already like, we want to hear about the next one. When are we going? Oh, this is part of ELS. Oh, there's something happening in terms of community. And already we're gearing up for our second Orchesis, and the impact is great. We have ASL interpreters coming in to make it more accessible for our audiences. We're going to keep streaming. So the outcome right there alone, I think, is quite positive in that people are engaged and want to know what's going on. And then they ask, how can I be a part of the next opportunity? Out of what's come up from NUD, already students are reaching out. When are we going to hear about the next idea at Weber State? When will you be coming to our school? The students already within the dance program are already asking about, who are we bringing in next year? What are the possibilities? How do I volunteer? I can tell you that we've had some students reach out to Teresa Martinez about being engaged in the social issues on campus. That energy is feeling really great, and I'm seeing our numbers expand. So in terms of our faculty outcomes, they're really excited that the students are now more engaged. They're starting to bring up ideas, and that they're also using their voice and sharing how they're learning from these experiences, what they took away from Zim Zim and the Congolese culture that he shared with us. And you'll see it in the performance, that they're taking on these nuances that I think really help to expand their vocabulary, who they are, and their opportunity to connect. I have to say the theme ReConnect really helped me to reconnect with ELS. I know that's so cheesy, but it's so true. I think during COVID it was so hard. Like, how do we re-engage with community? Students have so much to share. The faculty do as well. And this is a great opportunity for us to make this the time to do so, to connect and reconnect, discussing and having conversation about what was going on socially within Utah, beyond the state borders, what was going on here for myself. And now it's going back and looking at the barriers that human beings have had to overcome. And I think was going back to the roots of dance, and that was African dance. And we have this great artist, Zimzim, to reconnect with, that has taught classes with us before. Again, it really came down to the students and making sure that they were included in the conversations and that they were included in the decisions. And we can't move forward if they're not a part of it. Now it's just getting other people so excited, and the fact that the high school teachers are already reaching out again. So I think it's not only me and the students, but this community support.
The idea that we wanted somehow to bring the theme of ReConnect onto campus, or at least within the School of Nursing where we both work. We connected with people within the Engaged Learning Series office. So we just decided to use the wagon and just connect with whoever we could on campus, whoever students we could reach that were on campus, that we would try and just share that ReConnect and that self-care idea.
And ReConnect worked well this time, I guess because of, it made me start thinking because we have so many ways in which we are integrally part of the natural world. Fundamentally can't disconnect even if you wanted to, and yet consciously we don't often think about that. And so the ReConnect piece worked well. And as I said, it just tied nicely with the service work and then the Ogden River, and it kind of fell into place. But I think you have to be open to rolling around the ideas, at least in your head. I think partly if there's an interest in being engaged with the series is tossing ideas around with other faculty. If they're really interested, potentially reach out and see if they might be involved in actual planning or kind of bouncing around ideas for the series. But talking within the department, because there might be other folks who have connected, trying to give a little time to actually being intentional and thinking about it, because very likely there may be something that it kind of prompts a way of looking at something that you hadn't thought about before that actually maybe adds some new piece to a class. I think it can be a rewarding experience if folks can take the time to think about it, and that's always our challenge, is finding the time to think.
I think it is so important to get involved and to be motivated to learn and grow from other people. And so I think, every theme that the Engaged Learning Series comes out with is really well thought out, and a panel of people come up with that theme in order to connect students and faculty on campus. And so I think what faculty and students can do is just get involved, be creative, find an event that's taking place and get involved and promote the theme and put your own twist into that of whatever is important to you that you want to share with other people on campus, then put your spin on it and just engage and just get to know other people on campus and grow and learn from that.
Well, first off, just engage with the Engaged Learning Series. It's so easy. You all are so kind and supportive, and the access is not difficult. It really is proposing an idea, laying it out onto a document, or having a conversation over a coffee, and then expanding on that idea. It makes sense, and when you share that with the students and then they offer new ideas, like I tell the students, the art of possibilities is endless. And if you don't ask, or if you don't have a conversation, if you don't use your voice, then no one's ever gonna know. And it's not a lot of energy that you all really have sent emails and come to the rehearsals and come to the meetings. Also provide that support, which then gets the students excited. So I just throw my hat on and just do my thing. So, and again, thank you so much, ELS.